Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Tommy Gilmore with Noisy Bird Digital Marketing, and this is another episode of Spotlight Southern Utah. If this is your first time watching, I talk to a different business owner every week, but today's a little bit different, and I'm really excited because Darren doesn't own a business. Darren Prince, you are the economic development person. I don't know exactly the title. I'll get it from you here in a second, but you're in charge of economic development here in Washington County, and so I'm really excited. We get to hear more about the growth in the area, important businesses coming in, and hear some of the political side that goes into bringing good business here to the area. So Darren, I'm excited to chat with you today.
Well, I'm excited to have you here, and it's a great place to be an economic director. You see a business going up on almost every corner in Washington County right now.
Wallet Hub, the last 2 or 3 years, has named, St. George, Cedar City, some of the top places to start a small business.
Washington and St. George, both here in Washington County, have been right at the top of the list for many years now.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I'd first love to hear a little bit about your journey, how you got into the position you're in, and then we'll chat about some of the resources you have for businesses, the growth in the area, things like that. So tell people a little bit about your story.
Well, my ascension, I guess, to the economic director is a little unique. I didn't come from a government background. I come from a business background. I've owned and operated quite a few businesses over the years. The majority of my time was spent owning and operating and starting residential treatment centers. I owned one in Arizona for probably 25 years.
Yeah.
And one here in Tokerville, Utah for 12 years.
So you have a background in startups and, getting businesses off the ground, things like that. How has that helped you then to transition into this new position that you've had, which I think you said it's been just a couple of years, right?
Yeah, 2 years. I have an advantage on the business side because I've been a part of so many businesses, and I know what it takes to get a business off the ground, the struggles that it takes. You always think that you do your pro forma and 6 months later you're going to be rolling in the wealth. Rarely does that happen. I often counsel people, the first 3 years, don't plan on taking much money. It's, as Dave Ramsey says, beans and rice and beans for those first few years.
Yeah.
And I know what that's like. We started out in our schools. I'm really good at construction because I did a lot of my own construction in those schools. And I know what permits are like. I know what it's like working with the city or the county, in my case in Arizona. And I know how critical that process is when start or want to get that construction going and get your business off the ground. How important it is that role of the city or the county to help you move through that as quick as possible. So I've done that many times. I've probably built, I'd say, at least 10 buildings in my time in the schools.
So tell people a little bit about the role that you have now and sort of, how, like what influence you have as far as economic development, what that means. I mean, talk to us plebs, and by us, I mean me. Tell me what you do, what your day-to-day looks like, and how businesses could maybe, use your office or resources you might have.
And right now we're in a little bit of transition. The Washington County Economic Development has been around for many years.
Yeah.
And one of the original directors of Washington County Economic Development, he is very well loved, and the things that they did, Scott Hershey, if I say that name, many people will know Scott, and they were instrumental in doing many of the amazing things that we have here in St. George, everything from getting a hospital to getting an airport.
Oh, cool.
Economic development has been very instrumental in that. And we kind of got to a point a few years ago where we said, are we still moving the needle? Are we helping out business? Are we really growing? Or are we just here going through the motions? And so we did a strategic plan update, and it became clear that it would be much more advantageous for us to break up our economic development and have a portion, which we call the Southern Utah Economic Alliance, that is covering 5 counties.
Yeah.
So the Southern Utah Economic Alliance is led by a gentleman named Todd Brightwell. And when I first took the job, I was running that organization for just Washington County. He helped get us a grant and is now running that for the 5 county area, which is much more appealing to business. when you can market a broader area, you have more population.
Yeah.
You have more amenities. Like, we have this wonderful airport, but when you count the 5 counties, we have rail, we have a lot of agriculture land when you look at Beaver. And then there's opportunities in Garfield and Kane to be more appealing to businesses that are looking at Southern Utah. So Todd's running that organization. I stay here at Washington County. I'm the economic director for the county.
Okay.
So I certainly work hand in hand with Southern Utah Economic Alliance. In fact, we meet weekly. We probably talk every single day. They actually are housed here in our building.
Okay.
And a lot of leads will come through me because when people are looking to come through businesses, they look at the county economic director, and then I'll point them in the right direction.
Yeah.
So if it's in a business that looks good for St. George or Washington, I'll forward those with Todd to Rusty, who is the economic director for Washington City, or Chad, who is for St. George. If it's one of the other cities where it looks like the business will be a better fit, like Hurricane, for example, they're growing like a weed right now. I tend to work directly with the city with them because they don't have an economic director.
Okay.
So if you've visited Hurricane lately, it's crazy the growth that's going on out there.
I don't think you can pass a block without seeing an orange cone in Hurricane.
The area from Walmart there, kind of in between St. George and Hurricane, as you go into Hurricane, out to Sand Hollow, and then on into Hurricane, and then you have Highway 7.
Yeah.
That will be a completely different landscape here in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
They have 7,000 homes planned. They have 3 resorts, and there's just so many opportunities for businesses. They have some industrial, which has been a big challenge for Washington County. We have not had any available. We've had available space, but no buildings.
Okay.
And so we're excited. I'm kind of excited.
That's great.
Did I answer your question?
You did. Okay. And just as a follow-up question, so, if people are watching and they're wondering, how can talking with Darren or could I reach out to him? Like, what sorts of resources do you help pair them with, or what part could you play?
Yeah, and that's a good question because I didn't finish the other parts of my job. So I don't not only work with those businesses that are looking to locate here and build their business here, but we're also working with the existing businesses and trying to find out what the climate of the county, how we can help them. I work very closely with Colette Cox from the state of Utah.
Okay.
And we visit many businesses together. We've helped many businesses who may not be a financial help, but it may be a help with resources.
Yeah.
And say, hey, these are opportunities for you. But there are definitely some, especially through the state, there are finance grants and opportunities.
Yeah.
I know right here in Washington County, we have a very thriving robotics company that started up in the last few years.
Okay.
And Colette and I was able to work with that company and get them a nice grant to help them push their business forward. And they've grown from, I think when I first started the job, they had 6 employees.
Yeah.
And now at 2 years later, they have 24 employees. And
that's amazing.
And I think it was a big help for them to have that little boost from the state with that grant. And there's been a couple of other businesses we've been able to help with those grants also.
So, it sounds like there's matching of resources, and some of those are economic resources like state grants or even federal grants maybe that you're aware of. But more than anything, it could be, finding places to do business plans or pairing businesses together, like just finding resources and connections that businesses might be looking for.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we get really excited about the new business. That's what everyone wants to hear. We have our annual economic summit and everybody wants to know what's new and upcoming.
Yeah.
But a lot of our businesses are not new. They're businesses that were started here in St. George. They have roots here in St. George. And we really want those businesses that have been part of the community, that were grown here, we want them to feel like we're keeping an eye on them through economic development also.
Yeah.
And so I try to visit businesses regularly and really pass that information on to the commissioners and to our regional economic development to make sure that we're using every resource we can to help existing business grow also.
I think it's great that I live in Cedar City, and I was unaware of the SBDC and some of these other resources that are totally free to business owners.
And you guys have a great system going up there. David Johnson is your economic director.
Yeah, he does great.
He's got lots of experience. And that's where I need help. Like, I come from a business background.
Yeah.
So I can help businesses with that growth of their business and knowing the nuances of that. But the governmental side is a learning curve. Guys like Dave and Chad and Rusty, they've spent years, and Todd, learning that side. So I love that I have them to help me out.
Yeah.
So I think we all work together quite well, and we all like each other.
That's good. Whether it's in business or politics or wherever, I think cooperation is really where the rubber meets the road, right?
And that's kind of the fun part about working for the government is there's no, I mean, you're obviously competitive because we're competitive people. If we're in economic development, we're competitors and we want to, get that win. But when David succeeds in Iron County, let's be honest, it helps all of us.
Yeah.
When Chad succeeds in St. George, it helps all of us. And so we're really about making sure that, the business finds the right place to be and that we're doing what's best for the community.
Well, one last question I wanted to ask about, there's people here in Southern Utah, it's booming, it's growing, it's been voted some of the best places to start a business. What do you see going on in the next 3 to 5 years that you're excited about, that you can talk about as far as the growth here, the business growth, all of those things that are, bringing people to Southern Utah and making them excited to become residents and to be here long term?
Well, I'm really excited about this new industrial space we have.
Yeah.
We have this incredible development right here above us on the mesa, this Tech Ridge.
Yep.
It's going to be a fantastic opportunity for businesses to relocate or locate there, grow there. A lot of their businesses have been from the ground up. I know Zonos, one of their fantastic businesses, just landed a huge deal and they're going to be expanding. And I'm super excited about Tech Ridge. We also have a new industrial park in Washington County called ARA Southwest Logistics. And we had about 10 million square foot of space for industrial before they came.
Yeah.
They're going to add 5 million more square feet.
Yeah.
So, that's half again what we have.
That's an exciting bit of growth. Yeah. And obviously that means that there's more office space.
And I think that's industrial space. One of your questions was, if you could change something, if you could
wave a magic wand. Yeah.
I'd love to have more space. I would love to have more affordable spaces for businesses to grow.
Yeah.
That's one of our big challenges. The other one, obviously, you've heard it a million times, is housing. When we didn't lock down for COVID, millions of people found out about us.
Yeah.
And they've figured out this is a pretty great place to live. And so with that demand, our housing has gone crazy.
Yeah.
And so if I could do anything with a magic wand with that, I would definitely create more opportunities for our kids and our grandkids to have opportunities to find affordable $250,000, $300,000 homes.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Are there efforts by the county that are happening to work on those affordability things?
The county does what they can, but the county doesn't have subdivisions. We don't have infrastructure.
Yeah.
All of that lies within the cities.
Okay.
And I think our cities have been doing great things. I know St. George and Washington and Hurricane have really, Tokerville, have expanded the opportunities for builders to build homes.
Yeah.
And, it's supply and demand. So unfortunately, there's some negative things that comes with that. And I sympathize with our residents. I grew up in La Verca, and when I was a kid, there was one ward and 12,000 people. We could go anywhere on our horses and our bikes, and it's not like that anymore. But it's private property, and people can develop that. It's going to develop, and so I want to see that done right. I want to see good housing projects that create a sense of community and affordable, where people can, kids can get married and move into those. Like we had that opportunity 30 years ago.
Yeah, that American dream kind of help keep that alive for, my generation and younger. Well, that's exciting. I think it was really fun to hear about some of the developments here, the priorities that the county has, and some of the resources that you guys are able to match businesses with.
Well, if anybody has any questions, you can reach me. Our Washington County website, there I have a link right on there on economic development, and don't hesitate to give me a call.
If you're okay with it, I'll put in the description just a link that has your email. Is that okay?
You bet.
Awesome. Well, guys, get a hold of Darren if you, as a business owner or as a resident, have any questions, comments, concerns. That's why he's here. You know, he's here as a resource to help businesses, help the economy, and really make sure that Southern Utah keeps growing. So I appreciate you taking some time to chat with me today.
Super. And before we close, I would like to invite everyone who would like to really see what's happening in Southern Utah in January. We have our annual What's Up Down South Economic Summit.
Okay.
And it's a great place to see. We have people come from around the state to talk to us about data that's happening with our economy, and then just fantastic speakers. Our keynote is Steve from the Piano Guys, so it'll be a really special conference this year.
That is awesome. I know that you have to buy tickets ahead of time for that, right?
Yeah, and those are probably online right now.
Awesome.
whatsupdownsouth.org.
Okay, yeah, so go to whatsupdownsouth.org, guys. Check that out. I think it's a great opportunity to hear about the growth and, you know, network with other people, things like that. Well, thank you, Darren. I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for watching another episode. This was a special edition, let's be honest. This was a cool episode. This is Spotlight Southern Utah. We'll be here again next week. We'll be here live with a different business owner, and we'll see you until then. Bye, guys.